sauce, then people turn selfish. Fine, I'll give you all of mine, all my mind, all my time. I feel like Kanye shit I don't like. Throwing some rocks and hide out of sight. Love to criticize to boost your own idol. I could summarize and prove you're entitled. Pile of marveled rivals insightful. Denial of spite, I'm eyeing your files. Blinded device, your vice, you're too prideful. Don't pretend to take my side. I see through, I love my own life.
My second amateur kickboxing match. It was a decent match. It was fun, actually. I had a lot of fun. There's a lot to talk about with that, with my fight. I wanted to start off by showing the preview, just a little snippet, showing everybody like how it went. But yeah, this is shot of the night. Bang. Oh my goodness. Caught the kick through the big overhand. He throws a leg kick. Nothing set up. Boom. Body kick, actually, but caught it through that big overhand right. That was the best shot of the night by far from either one of us. And I ended up winning unanimous decision. I don't even know if he got a round. I think he might have got the second round, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was a great fight. A lot of people who were watching this that do know me, that were there. It was a great night also. But yeah, I guess I could talk even further about just fighting and the whole process, and a little bit more about myself. Currently, I'm 25 years old. I live in Texas, the great state of Texas. But I'm actually from Delaware, which is kind of crazy. Some people watching this probably don't even know where Delaware is. It's a tiny little state on the East Coast. The first state, actually. But yeah, I'm from there, from the East Coast. This fight was also in Maryland, so right next to Delaware. Stayed over. This fight, I threw a lot harder. This fight is a lot different from my first fight. Depending on how people like this video, we might do also my first fight too and break that down. Yeah, I was slapping him with leg kicks a lot that fight. And I was throwing a lot of hard punches. We definitely learned a lot from this fight. Um, just a little bit of inside information. I was very sick kind of during the back half of my fight camp for this fight. And I definitely felt it in this fight for sure. Like I was coughing up all types of mucus and stuff afterwards. But I came out really strong in the first round. Kind of almost to my own surprise too, because I would say I'm somebody who actually likes to take my time. Even though it's 3 round fights, like I can still get in there and get active, but I like to set stuff up and do stuff like that. But I actually started off very strong in the first round, and I kind of just carried it throughout the fight. But for sure, in that third round, oh my goodness, I was feeling it. Just probably because of the sickness, and also, it's the third round. When, like I said, the pace was picked up a little bit more in the beginning than I usually do. But yeah, I did great. The first round is where that big shot came in, that big overhand right. After I caught his body kick, but overall, like, yeah, it was a good fight. I was definitely in my post fight interview, I seemed like happy, but I definitely seemed slightly disappointed, which I guess I could say that I wasn't myself, just because I went in there obviously like with the mindset of I'm gonna do my best possible, and I really honestly thought that I might actually get a stoppage, which, especially after throwing that big shot and really rocking the guy, I definitely thought that that was the way that it was going to go. And then it just continued on for the remaining rounds. And you have to have the mindset of like you trained and you're prepared for that. But I kind of was really like thinking like, oh, this is going to be a finish. This is going to be a finish. And then it kind of like lasted the whole 3 rounds. So It's the only kind of disappointment that I had. But overall, I was still happy. Like I said, I did have a little bit of sickness going into the fight, so to still be able to come out there and perform and get a win, I'm nothing but happy about it. But yeah, and I want to talk about the training camp too, because even though I was sick, I definitely would say this was definitely the best time I felt during a training camp. Like the workouts, if you've ever been through a training camp for a fight, amateur, whatever level, even the most basic level, like even like at MDL, like if you're just trying to get in shape for that, you're gonna feel it a little bit. And of course, like to the amateur level, like amateur kickboxing, Muay Thai, whatever it is that you do, even MMA, you're definitely gonna be training like very hard, which we were. This was probably, yeah, it was definitely the hardest fight camp that I would have so far. Just like I said, including with the sickness, but also too just the 2 a days, 5 a.m., well, 6 a.m. workouts. Wake up at 5, get there at 6. Waking up, training with my boy Leon, who hopefully watches this, but shout out, Cushly. He's also another guy who trains and fights, um, out of my hometown of Delaware too, his hometown also. But yeah, just training with him in the morning times and then also afternoon classes at the gym. So really twice a day for majority of the training camp, getting in runs, his massages too. Oh my gosh. I love and hate those. But just the whole training camp in general was really just like it was well put together and it was great, but it was also super tough. But overall, I felt like it was one of the best training camps that I've had so far, and I'm happy about that. I've been training for 4 years. I guess I should have mentioned that too. I've been training for 4 years now. I have 2 amateur fights. Um, I'm 25. My career has definitely been on the slower end. I'm also on a personal side. I'm a father, so I have 3 kids. So I have a life, outside of just fighting too. But fighting is definitely one of my passions and one of my goals in life. One of my biggest goals in life for sure. I want to go pro. That is something that I really that's my next goal is like preparing to go pro, but I still want to get some more experience in the amateurs. Some people go like instantly. Like I just literally saw a thing the other day of this guy going. I think it was like 5-5. Like I think he literally went 5 amateur fights and then 5 pro fights, and I was just like, what the heck? Like that's pretty good, but it's also kind of fast too. And I don't know exactly how many pros fights I would want to get. I mean, sorry, amateur fights I would want to get in experience wise. I would love if I had to pick a number, I'll say maybe like 10 amateur fights. Um but, where I'm at now in terms of like performance and skill wise, I definitely don't think that it's too far off from you know, where I'm trying to get to. But definitely there's still progression to be had. There's still things to learn. There's still, all types of stuff that we have to do um to get prepared to do that. Yeah, and like I said before previously, I'm in Texas now, so uh I'm looking to find a gym out here, start training, and then, start getting back on the horse of fighting. It's currently I had this fight in January, so it's been quite some time since we got a fight in. And I've just mainly just been, solo training, but that itch to get back into the gym is, coming. And, I'm going to actually do something that I didn't do before previously. which is I'm going to actually document a lot more of my training as opposed to how I was before. Before, I was so locked into training, especially for the first like 2 years. I was so locked in. I wasn't documenting anything. I wasn't, paying attention to that side of the game where people watch their sparring sessions back and people just not even just that but just posting content about like what it is that you do. I think I'm definitely introverted extrovert. I don't know even know if that makes sense to some people, but like I can be extroverted, but for sure, I like to chill, be by myself, hang out with my few friends and my girl and my kids. So, uh, and my friends that I train with and stuff like that. But yeah. So, what was I talking about? I don't even remember. I might cut this. I might leave it in. Who knows? That's what I was thinking about. Also too with this podcast, especially because it's my first one. And people, give feedback if you guys are even listening to this. If people have stayed long enough to listen to this. Um, what do you guys think? Should I just do raw and just go from the top, or should I edit things out? I don't even know. This might be edited out too. I don't even know if this will stay in. But anyway, um, what do I want to go to next? We talked about the fight. We talked about the fight camp a little bit. Talked about myself, like I said, amateur kickboxer, um, 2-0 currently. Anthony Cross. That's what I call myself. I guess, I could explain that. I could go into that. And then I think after I explain this, I want to start talking about some UFC stuff. But yeah, my name's Anthony Cross, but my in ring name is Anthony Cross, AHHA. And people ask me sometimes, like, what does that mean? And I guess it's hard to explain what it means. And I know people hate when people do that. Oh my gosh, why are you saying it? Hard to explain? Blah, blah, blah. So, but I'll try my best. And the easiest way, I guess, to explain what it means is how it looks, like literally the structure of the word. Um, I can't remember what those words are called, like race car. I'll end up saying it and putting it in here. Um, what it's called, but it's the same way forwards as it is backwards. So what it really represents is balance. Like that's what it's really supposed to represent. Um, it's kind of like my imaginative space kind of thing. But yeah, like I said, it's really hard to explain in words, but that's the best thing that I could say is the easiest way of understanding is it means balance. Like whether, whatever you want to see that as, if you want to see it balance as, uh internal expression, external expression, like balance between light and dark, good and evil, whatever you want to think of it is your own. But for me personally, I have like deeper meanings of what it means to me. But like I said, the easiest way of understanding is it just means balance. So, um, offense and defense, it could mean that too. Like it's like a split, like expansion and contraction. Whatever it is that, like I said, it means for whatever people want it they want it to mean. It's not supposed to be like anything like I don't know. It's not like aha like, laughing, but it could be that too. I don't know. But it's more kind of like I said, it's kind of like a balance, same way forward, same words backwards type of thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, whatever you like it to mean is what it means to you. Like a reflection in a pool, or a reflection in a river, or some shit. Who knows? Um, but yeah, we'll get into all types of different topics in other podcasts such as that, some spiritual things. Who knows? I'm a spiritual dude. I wouldn't consider myself a religious person. I don't follow or believe in one specific religion, but I'm not also atheist either. I don't just, believe we're just dust maggots floating across the universe, even though, you kind of are, but I don't go full nihilism all the time. But yeah, we'll talk about that in other podcasts and things of that nature. Oh, let's get into UFC. You see, we're going to talk about all types of different topics. Let's get into UFC. We have a banger card coming up this weekend. We have a banger card. We have the notorious Conor fucking McGregor. The king. The who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that guy himself? The Mac, whatever you want to call him, Conor fucking McGregor. This guy's back. I'm not gonna lie, and I think similarly to other people who probably hear this, I did not think this man was gonna actually come back to fighting. I didn't. Once you make as much money as him, somebody said it. Tommy Hearn, somebody, I don't remember. It's hard to wake up in silk sheets. It's hard to get up in the morning. Yeah, it really fucking is. How is this man Conor McGregor coming back, especially after injury he's had? I don't know. This fight, I genuinely don't know what to think of at all. Especially with the recent events in the UFC. If anybody's been watching, the win of Justin Gaethje over Ilia Topuria, and he was a complete underdog. So many people voted against him and said he wasn't going to win. I even said that too. I like Gaethje. I love Gaethje. But I said it myself. I said, I think Ilia's going to win. I just don't know if Gaethje's going to be able to survive with Ilia in there, some of the shots that he threw. And ironically, Ilia threw some shots that did really fucking hurt Gaethje too. That didn't not happen. Like he, Ilia literally hit him with a body shot and that thing took him down. But Justin Gaethje, resilient as ever, you can absolutely, beat the shit out of him, but you have to take him out. You got to take him out of there to get rid of him. And he just, he put it on him. He put it on Ilia like crazy. And I think what Gaethje said came to be 100% true. And he said, before the fight, how they were talking, Ilia's putting this pressure on himself of like, if you don't get me out in the first 2 rounds and I'm still there in front of you, how are you going to be like after that kind of ordeal? And I 100% like agree with that because Ilia, man, for somebody who, it's crazy because Gaethje hurt Ilia already in the eye with that uppercut, going for that single through the uppercut. And already he hurt Ilia, and then you have Ilia still bringing it. Like, Ilia was still bringing it, but like Gaethje said, how is it going to be after that second round, third round, fourth round? And we saw what happened. Like, it was crazy. It was beautiful. Definitely, in my opinion, one of the greatest championship fights ever. Like, it has to go down as one. Like, I almost feel like it's like not debatable to at least be in the top like 2 to 3. But it was amazing. And speaking of that, because that win does tie in potentially to this fight, this main event fight for this card this weekend, Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway. This is crazy. I'm so excited. I don't know. Like I said though, because including with what happened with Gaethje and Ilia Topuria, I do not know who's gonna fucking win. I could so easily see, like, if I was just imagining hypothetical scenarios, I could see Max Holloway going in there and putting it on McGregor. especially because of the fact that Max Holloway is one, he's Max Holloway. And also too, Max Holloway has been going through it. He's been fighting tough fights. He fought Poirier. He fought Gaethje. He fought Topuria. Like, he's been fighting. He's been active. He fought Volkanovski fucking 3 times. Like, he's been fighting. He's been active. He's been like in the trenches of these rosters between 45 and also 55. And him coming up to 55, I think was great for him. I feel like he looks better. Like I feel like he throws a little bit more, stronger shots, and he probably even takes a shot a little bit better. He did, get grappled to death by Oliveira, even though Oliveira just kind of like had his back. But this man seems he seems like, I don't know. It's just like I feel like Holloway is like he's like a soldier who's just been at war. Like he's been at war. So McGregor has been in war. He's been in war. He's been in wars, plural. But fucking Holloway has been at war consistently for these past couple of years. So I just don't know if McGregor is going to be able to deal with that. And I could see that. But now let's talk about the other hand. Let's play, the other side. McGregor is fucking McGregor. And I feel like in terms of, are you getting a best case scenario? You are. This fight is definitely in a best case scenario for him to come back because of the fact that he's sat out this time and he's healed up. He definitely had some extracurriculars, to say the least, that were helping him heal up, which that's that's definitely gonna help. It's not gonna do nothing but help. So he's had that, and also too, the fight is at 170. So the fight being at 170, he's not making the cut to 55, which I'm not surprised because I don't think McGregor could I mean, I think he can make 55, but I don't think he wants to make 55. I don't think he wants to make 55. So having this at 170 is the best case scenario in terms of for where McGregor, for where he's at right now. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see, how this goes down. This is gonna be crazy, McGregor could come out there and he could throw some shots. I do believe that McGregor is still gonna look similar to how he looked against Poirier the last 2 times. I think he just, even like seeing the sparring, like, yes, don't get me wrong, I like, we see things every now and then of him like throwing the spinning wheel kicks and the fucking taekwondo crazy ass kung fu shit, which I love that shit. Everybody loves that shit about McGregor. He wasn't fighting like that the last 2 times that he fought, even when he was healthy. um and I think part of it is obviously too, yes, because of the favored just boxing and just standing up. But what I will say though is, I don't think that that's a terrible thing. Like, I think that in terms of like, if he sticks to that against Max Holloway, I do still think like that's gonna be great. Not even like really even considering the last time that they fought. I know that Holloway lost, but like, I still think like McGregor just going in there and primarily boxing is still gonna do him favors. But what I will say though is, Holloway recently, ironically, has been, in the last couple of years, he's been the one to start to mixing kicks in there a lot differently. He broke Justin Gaethje's nose with the spinning back kick. Like, he's been able to throw kicks in there even against Ilya. I think he threw that. So we might see Holloway actually, ironically, throwing a little bit more kicks, and if he's able to kind of throw kicks to like occupy McGregor's lower half, his body and his legs, then you could see to where, he's gonna struggle, because if McGregor comes in there with so much kind of, I'm gonna stand and I'm gonna kind of box and throw really like rangy shots or whatever. If Holloway is boxing with McGregor and then he also is occupying his lower half, his legs, and also his body, it's gonna make it harder for McGregor to box and throw those rangy shots and land stuff, especially if his lower half is compromised. But we'll see. Like I said, we will see. Like Max Holloway says, we'll see Saturday night. We'll see Saturday night, brother. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes down. I'm so excited. So excited. Um Also on that card, who else do we got on there? I know we got McGregor and Holloway. We also got freaking Benoit Saint Denis. Yeah, Benoit Saint Denis and fucking Patty Pimlet. Wow. This one, that's another interesting. I genuinely I don't know. I feel like this is a 50-50. I feel like Patty can either go in there and grapple with him and possibly crack him and maybe stop Benoit, or if it becomes that car crash and they're like really going at it, Benoit Saint Denis could also do the exact same thing to Patty and crack Patty and possibly take him out. I do not know who's gonna win that one either. That's a strong 50-50 for me. It's a strong 50-50. Um, but we'll see. If I had to choose, if I had to choose versus McGregor and Holloway, I'm gonna say Holloway. Even though, like I said, I'm confident in none of these. So don't listen to this and then place a bet on this shit. That's an inside joke with some of my friends because I always tell them I would be 100% if I ever bet, which I don't ever bet, really. Um, and they're like, you know, there was the whole thing, but I would pick Holloway if I had to go Benoit Saint Denis versus Patty Pimlet. Benoit Saint Denis just submitted. I mean, well, he beat up Roof. Yeah, he submitted him. He submitted him. Blah, 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 blah. He submitted him, but I still, I'm gonna go Patty. Fuck it, go Patty. Mario Batista versus Sandhagen. That's another good one. I like both of these guys too, but I'm gonna go with Sandhagen. Royval versus Kavanaugh. This one, some people don't care about flyweight. I care about flyweight. I care about all divisions. Really, I pay attention to them, or I try to at least. I'd still call myself pretty casual in terms of like how some people are with their knowledge, but I don't know. I feel like there's levels to the casuals for sure. Because there's some MMA takes from some people. I'd be like, bro, you don't even be watching the sport. What are you talking about? And also too, I don't know. I feel like you don't have to train, but I feel like some people who train tend to at least be giving more valid opinions sometimes when it comes to it because I don't know. Look at a comment section on social media. You guys have seen. I try to stay off the social medias and stay away from them. I have them and I use them to, post things here and there, but like, I try to stay away from it. I don't even have the apps on my phone. Most of the things I just log in, to get into it. I don't even do it through the app. I just do it through browser. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Royval versus Kavanaugh. This is going to be interesting because Royval definitely needs this win. He definitely needs this win because I feel like he's kind of been tilted off to the side after, the Joshua Van descent there. The problem is though, Royval's still good. He's still good, but he needs this win to cement, to like show everybody, I'm still good. I'm still up here. I'm still in the top because Kavanaugh is young, hungry up and comer. And man, he pieced, Moreno up. He has hands. And, he's going to want to try to come through and take Royval off as another, kind of infinity stone to add to the gauntlet to be like, I'm next up. So we'll see how this goes. If I had to pick, I'm going to go with Royval just because Royval, you need this. I'm going to send you some energy. Come on. Let's see. But Kavanaugh could very well do this, and he could do it in a very electrifying fashion. And if he does, I would not be surprised. I'm not counting nobody out. That's the thing. If you've been a fan of UFC, especially in 2026, shoot, even into 2025, these last years, you know that you cannot count nobody out in this sport. You can't count nobody out. Not 100%. You gotta at least leave 1%. You can count somebody 99, but you gotta leave that 1%. Also, random tangent, but I was just thinking about this because I was saying fan of the UFC since 2025. Um, when did I start? I started watching UFC honestly when the first UFC I think I watched. I don't remember exactly, but I know the first couple clips of UFC, like seeing UFC things I watched, was definitely John Jones or Rampage Jackson. Those were the first couple of things that I remember my dad kind of like having that playing in the background. I think like maybe Fox, maybe some fucking HD pay-per-view Comcast shit in the background. Um, but yeah, definitely I would say it's Rampage and what you call it. But when I joined, another, cool little thing about me, I used to be in the military. When I joined the military when I was 18, that definitely got me, which was in 2018. That definitely got me back into UFC heavy for sure. That definitely sparked it again to where I started really watching it consistently again. Cause I had a friend in the military who also watched UFC and he liked it, and we would talk about it all the time. But shout out my guy Trey. Um, yeah, nah, that just remembering back to when I started watching UFC. If anybody is at this part still, comment when you guys started watching UFC or one of the most recent UFCs you remember watching, whatever your first couple memories or anything with it is. But on to the next fight also. Let's get on to this. Let's get back to this. King Green, Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. This fight, I'm sorry, you can't count anybody out. But I feel like what I can say is somebody's getting knocked out. I feel like somebody is getting knocked out in this fight. The way Bobby Green has been moving, it slash kind of have always moved, but definitely been moving in recent years. And the way that Terrence McKinney kind of always moves, this is a car crash at full speed collision ready to happen. If Bobby Green fights kind of with his feinty style, you know, keeping him where he needs to, popping shots, keeping the hands down, but keeping the head moving and kind of like slipping stuff, he could knock him out. But at the same time, Terrence McKinney kind of just like doesn't give you the option sometimes. He genuinely just like comes forward and just like fuck you, like, so because I think he's only ever knocked somebody out or like got knocked out, so like I don't know that for sure. I have to double check that, and I'll comment anything that I get wrong. If I can go back and fact check, I'll put it up here and just like call myself a dumbass or whatever for getting it wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no. He what you call it? He's just I'm gonna kill or be killed type mentality. So we're gonna see how that goes too. We're gonna see how that goes. But yeah, that is the card. Well, actually, that's the main card. Sorry, the prelims. We got Robert Whitaker versus Homeboy versus Homeboy Nikita. I gotta go Robert Whitaker. I don't know too much on Homeboy. I'm just gonna go Robert Whitaker just because. Gable Stevenson is fighting on this card. Nice. If this is his debut, then hey, I'm gonna go with him. I don't know anything about Elisha, but again, I won't count anybody out. Same thing with Nikita. He could very well win. We got Garbrandt versus Homeboy. Same thing. Don't know much about him. Garbrandt. I'm gonna go with you. Shout out my guy Garbrandt. Luke Riley. I do know that's Patty's boy. So we're gonna have to go. He got hands too. I've seen him. I've seen him in a fight. One of his fights. He has hands. Kai, I don't know you, but I'm not counting you out, my brother. Early prelims, Tracy Cortez. We know her. I don't know Wang Kong. So we're going with her. Caesar and versus my guy Damien? Caesar. Fuck it. Okay, the rest of you guys, I don't even know. So, okay. But yeah, we're gonna watch that card. I'm excited for that. If you guys are gonna check that card out, let me know what you guys think about it. Who do you think is gonna win? Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, we talked about a little bit of fighting. We talked a little bit UFC. Let's talk about rivals, man. We'll do a little bit talking about rivals, and then honestly, we might close it up here, and then we'll see how everything goes. There'll definitely be more content coming. Like I said, gonna definitely be capturing a lot more of the fighting journey for me and posting about that. And we'll do more of these podcasts too. If you guys want to keep checking these out, we'll keep doing them. Um, they're kind of like a cool little thing for me anyway, because I like to just these are the things that I kind of like enjoy, different hobbies and topics. Um, and even if I don't necessarily post all of them, I still kind of like want to do these just for my own mental, just creativity space type of thing and stuff like that. But rivals. If anybody has been paying attention and knows about these season 9 changes, oh my goodness, we genuinely got Rivals 2.0. Team ups are actually like, wow, everybody has team ups. Team ups are like a crazy thing now. A whole overhaul on the team up system. I'm excited. I mainly play tank, as you guys are seeing in the footage that you're seeing in the background, which some of these podcasts are going to be like this. We'll have rivals. This one had rivals. We'll have some of the rivals gameplay of me playing with my friends, sometimes solo queuing, comp sometimes, quick play sometimes, just different things that happen, some highlights, and different games too. I play DBD. I play some Fortnite, Rivals, Spider-Man, God of War. I play a lot of different games. Sometimes playing with my friends. Sometimes it'll be just me. But yeah, man, this Rivals change, I'm so excited for it. As a tank, I'm excited for it because, like I said, I'm a tank main, really. I mostly play tank. Sometimes I play a little bit of healer. I play some DPS every now and then, but really just only mainly quick play DPS. I would consider self mainly a tank. But as a tank main, I like this because this looks like it's really gonna help with the tank kind of solo tank pandemic kind of thing we had going on. Epidemic, whatever the hell you want to call it. Pandemic, what the hell am I talking about? But yeah, like it's given the incentive for people to actually play a second tank if you want to get a better team up. And it doesn't necessarily mean automatically people are just never gonna solo tank, but it definitely means for sure that the possibility of you what you call it, of you getting a second tank is gonna go up for sure, especially with the incentive of, hey, you're getting some type of team up with a team up boost. And the team ups being base now is just cool. You can select and pick through. You're gonna be able to do that whatever team up you want. And then if you want the enhanced team up, you actually have that person on your team, and it makes it even stronger. So I'm super excited. Happy for Rivals, happy for the change. I play Rivals casually, but I definitely had my grind moments in the earlier seasons when I was really grinding for it. The highest I ever got was GM on console, and I think like Diamond something on PC. Diamond 3, I think. Maybe Diamond 1? I don't remember. But you guys can look it up. I'll put it in there if I'm wrong. But yeah, so I'm excited for the Rivals changes. I'm happy that, that they're making these changes and stuff like that. I still see a little bit of complaining, and don't get me wrong, there's definitely still some valid complaints, especially when it comes to like people are like, oh, rank and blah blah blah, and cheaters and throwers and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that stuff does still need to be addressed, but overall, I'm still happy like with the game and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be agonizing and can be annoying, and I kind of just like take breaks from it. But the changes and the drops and the things that they have, if it just at least to like, again, somebody who just like casually plays games, I would call myself an okay gamer. I've been gaming since I was a kid. First, I was PlayStation gang, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, and I have Xbox now and PC, but uh yeah, like I feel like as a casual gamer, like it's fun. It's cool. The skins are crazy. They're definitely never beating the Goon Rivals allegations ever. They're never beating those allegations. But it's a fun game, and I'm happy that they made the changes. I hope that they keep making some types of changes to make it better and better. Um Hopefully the community can kind of chill out. I will say I still feel like personally that can be the worst thing sometimes is the community. People be just like, whether it's either raging or throwing or just weird. Sometimes, people be racist. Sometimes people be sexist. Oh my gosh, there's a woman on the right. Oh, like, bro, what, you never talked to a woman before? Like, what the hell? But yeah, hopefully the community can get a little bit better with like how they act and stuff like that. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for that game. But yeah, this is coming to a wrap. I didn't want to do too much of a time. I think like around 40-30 minutes was great just to start off for the first one. So thank you guys for listening. Thanks for everybody tuning in and listening to the podcast. There's definitely going to be more coming, like I said, more journey on the fight, more stuff, footage on the fight journey, and just more content in general, gaming. We'll talk about movies, we'll talk about anime, we'll talk about all types of different stuff. If you guys want to see more, please, just like it, share it, subscribe, follow, do whatever the heck, comment, say whatever. If you don't like it, dislike it, I don't care. Just give some type of feedback. But thank you guys. Peace.
Bad, I shot last, don't ask me no questions. Borrow my sauce, then people turn selfish. Fine, I'll give you all of mine.